I just saw somebody upload a video of how to get out of bounds here in Supermarket together. The methods they showed were like how to get up there, which I don't know if you count that out of bounds because you're still like kind of inside the invisible walls. But they also showed a way how to clip out of bounds in this room. So as they showed you how to like get out of bounds here and there, I want to show how I recently got over the invisible walls. Like me and a friend, we were fucking around in this game. Like instead of playing the actual supermarket, we just try to get over the invisible wall. And we found a different method from what the other guy showed in his video. So yeah, I want to show you that method of how we got out of bounds over the invisible wall. Yeah, so me and her were like invited onto a server of someone else. They and a bunch of other people, they were all like playing the game normally. Like it all started when like the others like started to like fuck around with brooms, like place down, jump, and like jump off of a broom midair, and we were fucking around with that. And so we were trying to like find ways to broom jump around and like reach higher places. And me and that friend were like continuously doing that, even when the others like started running the shop. So after the others stopped playing, me and that friend went under like our own server and just started fucking around even more, trying to reach new places. And our first thing we tried was like getting up here, which we'd managed pretty easily. Let me show you this a bit more slowly. Yeah, you can jump up here, then you can do this, then you can... If you jump on this billboard, you can like keep jumping because it's like the geometry seems to be like slanted. And then you can reach up here, which the other person called out of bounds. I don't know, like on their screen when they did this, the ground and everything unloaded. This seems to not be happening for me. This is what we also reached like on that day, like when we were on the server with the other people. But this wasn't high enough, right? Like the invisible wall is still here. You can't jump over this. You can't do it here either. And so we were trying to like figure out how to get over the invisible, if there was even a way, right? Like we didn't know whether this was even possible in the first place. And so we were like trying to find new ways to get over, like get up and over stuff. One way you can get over things is with boxes, and to get boxes you gotta unlock this, then you just buy a bunch of boxes, preferably salt, which is the cheapest one you can buy off the bat. You need around 1,000 or like slightly over $1,000 in boxes to do this. To do the whole thing. But yeah, we were like getting boxes because you can easily stack boxes. We found this helps you get up there and stuff like that. But it didn't really get us anywhere until I had the idea that if you can continuously jump up on this billboard, what if you can do it on this one as well? Like, what if that's also a possibility? What if this billboard has a similar geometry to that one? After we had that idea, we immediately started to stack our boxes here, which is what is the method to get over the wall. I'm gonna start the timer here, so just so you can see how long it would take to get over the invisible wall with the technique that we have. Yeah, so we try to get over there, like up on these areas. We had multiple ideas. Like I eventually like had a huge pyramid to stack up there, because if you stack boxes just on top of each other normally in like a singular column, it's very unstable. So what you gotta do is like build pyramids that are a lot more stable, or you gotta use walls to your advantage so the tower doesn't have to be that high. And then you can jump on the bottom box on the ledge. Like your jump height is 2 boxes high. So if you have like a jump that's 2 boxes tall, you can do it, but not 3. We started out stacking our boxes right here. It wasn't too effective because you have to go all the way from the bottom up here. But my friend had the idea to use this wall as a start for like the stack, which was really effective, which is just why I'm using it right now. The invisible wall is unnecessarily tall. Like, no player is ever going to normally just go up on that ledge. Why is the invisible wall way taller than that? So in the story of me and my friend trying to figure out how to get over, we're continuously trying to get to higher like ledges and newer like areas. Like it's kind of like a new frontier we were unlocking. We had no way to get any higher, so we had to branch out and find this path. And I usually start here with a 3 wide base, so I can have a more stable tower ultimately. Like, you don't want to be under those lights because then you'll get blocked by the geometry of the billboard. We also try to like stack on top of the hot dog stand and everything, but ultimately this seems to be the best bet of getting up there. We still didn't know whether this would actually work because this is a broken billboard and these are like lit, so what if these billboards have different geometry to everything else? There was a lot of uncertainty throughout the entire journey because we didn't know whether our next step, our next like idea would even work. Although a funny thing, you can just jump on this thing, like for some reason. You're also gonna see some really crazy strats later on. Yeah, there's some crazy like some crazy jumps going on later. Yeah, so here I'm getting blocked by the lights. God, I'm kind of screwed here. I think I'm going to need to rebuild the tower slightly. Put it slightly further in front. There's some tips when placing boxes. You always, whenever you place boxes, as long as you're not placing them way in the air, you're always placing them against something. They'll always spawn with like a certain distance from that object that you're placing them from. If you want to build like a tower right up against a wall or something, you have to like click on the box below to like place it properly. And I'm doing it like that so it like kind of protrudes out to the side, and so I have like a too high jump here again. Yeah, you need this many boxes to get up onto the lights here. The pyramid with the 3 bays, then 2, then 1, and then another 4 boxes or so. Yep, this is it. At this point in our journey, me and my friend were like building weird towers that kept falling over, but eventually I was able to reach the heights of the billboards, and as you can see, you can actually just jump on them like the other billboard. Like this revealed a whole new world of like possibilities of getting over the invisible wall. Like at first, this doesn't seem like a big discovery because this is the same height or possibly even lower than that area over there. And as you can see, the invisible wall on this side is still taller than this. Getting on this billboard, even though it's taller, doesn't help you much because, well, it's just so far away from all the walls, and also the building still has collision here. When I reached this area up here, and my friend also did, we were again trying to find ways to get higher and higher because this was obviously not high enough, so we needed to get even further. And our next idea was to just stack boxes up there somewhere. We didn't know at first where you could even stack boxes up there, but eventually after some testing I found out that you can stack boxes on top of the tall billboard up there. You can't really stack boxes here because this protruding lip would block you. So I tested it up here, and this billboard seems to actually work. It's like the perfect distance away from the wall, because if you place something too close to the wall, it'll kind of bounce against it and plop off. If you place it too far away from the wall, the center of mass of the box will be off the edge and it'll fall over and stuff. You have to, I think, look at these sorts of scratches, and that's kind of where you have to aim. Like, it's best to be, like, parallel to the wall. Yeah, you use these scratches, sort of, to align yourself. Eventually, you'll get, like, a feel for it. Then you can start placing boxes up here. Like, for safety, I recommend just making, like, a really thick pyramid up there. You don't want that tower to fall over. It's like so tedious to rebuild because everything just falls down. And if you have a friend, the problem is the physics aren't synchronized. So if your friend uses your tower, there's a good chance it falls over on their, or like on your end, but not on their end. And then you can't climb their towers, and if you climb theirs, it falls over and stuff like that. And it's sometimes your tower just falls over on their screen for no reason. So like there's a bunch of weirdness here, so you can't stack the tower together. Like the best you can do is like have your friend give you the boxes. Yeah, also important here is if you place the boxes too close to another, the chance is that if one of them falls over, it'll drag the other with it, which is obviously not desired. By the way, you can also do this with empty boxes. It doesn't have to be like newly bought stuff. If you really want to be risky, you can just build like a one wide tower. I don't recommend it because you have to bridge a huge gap. You have to bridge this gap, and it's so significant. I think it's, I don't know exactly how tall that is, but it's a similar height to this, like from the ground to up there. Like this is pretty stable. This distance is pretty easily traversed, but this distance, if you stack boxes normally like this, they'll fall over in no time. Because the more boxes you stack, the more unstable they get, and they'll like wobble around, and if you bounce into them weirdly, they'll fall over entirely. You know, better place the boxes too far away than too close. This next layer that we're stacking here, we're not going to do this way. Yeah, we're going to stack it this way because it like allows us to use the space that we built with the boxes below here. You might be able to do the first layer like this. I'm not sure though. I haven't experimented much with this because this is just like the first thing that worked. What you want to do also is like jump to place the boxes under you. This prevents them from like interacting weirdly with you. Oh yeah, you also need to leave yourself that like small gap to jump up onto the pyramid again. Here, if you place boxes by like jumping up, you want to look at where your crosshair is at like the peak of your jump, because you want to place boxes at the peak of your jump, kind of like if you're stacking up in Minecraft. So if your crosshair at the peak of your jump is on this like green line in the middle, or like kind of behind it, that's where you want to place the box, because your crosshair obviously places the box at like the center of the box on there. So you want the center of the box to obviously be on the center of the box below. Or perhaps if you want the box further back against the wall, you know, you can try to place it above. Yeah, so where I'm placing the boxes here, it's not just on the middle line, but also try to place it as close to the edge as possible, so that the center of the box is as close to being above the gap in between the boxes. You know, kind of how you lay brick. You look at this, you know, like having the center above that. Okay, here I can't stand in front of the box, so I have to go above again, but that's no problem. What you gotta do next is let's scare, because now that we have a pyramid here, we're still not that close. We can like, I don't know, clip into this. Where we're like bumping against this, it's like, we can't reach this, like the top lip here. So next up we're just going to stack like singular boxes up on top of this. You want to have it as close to the wall as possible, like that's the goal here. Because if it's too far away, yeah, it might just tip over. Also, what you want to do here is probably like offset some of the boxes to the side of it. Like not place them exactly in the center, but like a bit to the side, such that you can still have like a tube high jump to get up on this. Yeah, also, me and my friend, when we were like trying to climb up here, our ultimate goal with like getting up here, was that maybe, potentially, we could find a way to get like over, like from this lid, up on this leaderboard, up on this billboard. Because if all these billboards let you like continuously jump up on them, this billboard surely would do that as well. It would surely propel us over the invisible wall, right? Like surely, right? Surely. Yeah, if we had like any chance of getting over the invisible wall, it had to have been like, it had to be there. There's no other way. Either we build like a ginormous 5,000 box tower, or it's that. This might be the last box you have to place. Okay, I used to think that you have to place this box like further out, but because this thing doesn't have collision, you actually don't. There's still like a significant distance you have to go, and also it's not just that you have to go up to the billboard, you also have to go a bit out in front of the billboard so you can climb up on the front of it. Another thing with getting on top of the billboard is that you can't actually really place boxes up here because this area right here is way too small. Like you can place them, but like it's almost impossible to get them to stand on this. They're like, I haven't found a way to do it. So after we discovered this and found that there's no way that we're placing more boxes, we were kind of crushed. We like didn't know what to do. We thought that that was like kind of the end of it. How else would we reach any higher? But as you're kind of seeing right here, as I'm collecting these brooms, was one way to get higher, and that's, yeah, brooms. Brooms can be placed on like really narrow spaces because you know, they're just narrow. Additionally, they're always oriented this way, meaning that you can like place them on this very thin edge, like consistently, even once you're standing on that edge. You can jump on brooms very easily, and yeah, that's kind of what's really helpful about the brooms like up there. As cool as these brooms are, you can't jump on the leaderboard from like standing on top of one. It's too high, it's too far. There's no way. There's no way you make this jump. Also, so another thing we tried was like get on top of this, but that's also not possible. You get stuck. That also isn't reachable. So with this discovery, it was really like, we're kind of crushed. We didn't know how to again, for the 10 billionth time, we really didn't know how to reach higher places. But you might remember like those broom jumps I talked about really early in the video. This was kind of the only way we could comprehend like to save this like run, you know, to save all the effort we spent placing boxes. We had to find some way to jump really high with only broom. But yeah, what we tried was getting on top of broom, placing the broom against the wall, because as you just saw, placing a broom against the wall places it like a fixed distance away from it. If I'm standing right next to the wall and if I place a broom here, it places behind me. This is really cool because then I can place the broom behind me and turn around and jump off of the broom for a super high jump. Yeah. Yeah, as you just saw here, you can get like a double jump from the broom. I think from here, I was able to like once jump on top of like this lantern right there in practice, because we were practicing this jump here on the ground. And so yeah, that's what you have to do up there to get on top of the billboard. You have to do this jump, and then turn around to face the billboard again. You can't just like continuously take your brooms back up and back up, because if the brooms fall for too long, if they fall too fast, if they hit the road with with a tip, they will fall through. They will straight up just fall through the geometry of the world, and you can do nothing about it except for maybe catching it midair. Oh yeah, if you sprint jump, I wasn't sprinting this entire time. If you sprint, you can get really fucking good jumps. Kind of out of practice, so I'm practicing right here. because I don't want to like waste a bunch of brooms, as again they will fall through the floor if you're not careful. Yeah, so I restarted the timer so I can show how long this like jump might take. Also I just accidentally like deleted the timer when I was trying to pause it. But anyways, you really want to duplicate the brooms because you're probably going to be losing a lot. I might not be able to do the jump without duplicating any brooms. You want your broom to be right here, where like this window ends and this brick part begins. Yeah, as you can see, I just called my broom again. That might not happen all the time, so you need to be insured and have more brooms. You start out with quite a few, which is very nice and very generous by the game. Unfortunately, that is like that might not be enough to get the jump. But yeah, this broom, I got lucky. It fell on its like on the bottom part. Falls on the shaft. It's done for. It'll just pass through the floor. So now you just gotta do this like journey back up to the jump over and over and over and over and over and over again, just until you make it. Which is apparently a second try for me. Yeah, okay. I said this jump is hard. It really is. It took me it took me an hour of attempts, and then I had to go to bed, and then yeah. Then the next day it took me like another half hour or something. But once you get the technique down, it's not that hard, as you just saw. This billboard, as all the other ones, is climbable. Like when the first time I got this jump, I was so happy. I was screaming. Like all the hours of work of stacking boxes had built up to this. Is this enough to get over the invisible wall? Would this finally be it? The ultimate test? Yes, it is. The invisible wall only goes up to about here. And yeah, you can just walk on it. It's like a huge box that blocks you off. Like there are multiple boxes. There's one here that is like kind of taller than the rest. I've also reached the other side. You can reach the other side if you like jump onto this ledge and then walk over, which is also how you can reach the top of that building. But yeah, you can like walk on here. You can just drop down behind the invisible wall. And that's how you get out of bounds and supermarket together. If you get your broom on the other side, it'd be really cool if you could like upload a video of it. Because there are a bunch of jumps you can do here that you could really easily do with a broom, but that are super hard to do otherwise. So if you could show that to me, it would be much appreciated. There's no real use to this. You just kind of chill here. Yeah. You can see the really bad geometry. There's just this shadow building that isn't entirely deleted, but like these parts remain. Also the skybox that probably is in some real life space. I feel like I've seen a building like that before. You know, can't put my finger on it. If you want to get back to the to the arena, to the supermarket, you just jump off. Yeah, and that's how you get out of bounds in supermarket together, and like get out of bounds in a really bad and inefficient and bad and inefficient but funny way. If you do this yourself, if you get your broom over on the other side, please show me in the comments. Upload a video and put the link there. Otherwise, if you find this funny, if you find this cool, there's ridiculous box stacking, like the stupid box stacks, and then the weird ass broom jump around the corner. Yeah, if you appreciated this, leave me a like. Put down a comment showing what you think about this. And I hope you have a nice day. Hope you have a lot of fun playing this game.